Bobby Fye and Eric Sheetaber. We're going to be talking through this 2-game football slate for Monday night. Boy, it's already been quite a day of sports. What that Mets Braves game was like a classic, huh?
That was insane. Awesome. It was totally insane. And just so you know, I won the showdown slate.
That's awesome. Wait, no, you won the baseball showdown?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the big buy-in, I chopped with the 3 people for for 900.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
That's pretty hilarious.
But yeah, so that's I hope the Mets can somehow come back and win this one too. I just don't need the Braves in the freaking playoffs.
I know. I kind of would like that too. But the Cardinals just like give me PTSD. Not the Cardinals. The Diamondbacks give me like PTSD from last year. So both of them I'm a little nervous with. Good to see you guys in here, and we're going to talk through these 2 games, and we'll talk about some showdown ideas as well. I'm just going to probably jump in here and share my screen. But Sheets, nice. So you chopped the showdown yesterday too.
Okay, so there's a lot to talk about. So first of all, as far as DFS goes, yeah, I mean, I was basically struggling the whole day, and then I lucked out in the showdown. I chopped the FanDuel showdown to basically, make a few thousand for the day. Mm-hmm. And I also, as Rody pointed out, I had a single unique lineup in DraftKings that was kind of trolling around like for a while, like winning 300,000 like a bunch of the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then if like things like really broke my way at the end, I would have got there, but it ended up not doing it. But the other thing that was really cool that happened yesterday was this. So first of all, you see, you don't follow the Survivor Pool Discord.
I check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, I mean, I did okay in Survivor, got through a couple, and when the Jets lost, I had some whatever. But the real exciting thing was in the Circa Millions. Okay, so that was against the spread pool, which got like thousands and thousands of entries. And again, what I try to do is just try to get unique as much as I can. I don't really care who I like in the game, and I talk about this a lot. And, for the whole season, it's like $1 million for first or whatever. But they also have like these, not booby prize, but these prize at the end of every 4-week session. And so I went 4-1, and I'm actually going to make the money.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah. You know what? If Baltimore, now I know you were all over Baltimore, but the whole pool had Baltimore. If Baltimore did not cover yesterday, I probably would have made like 60,000.
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
That's okay, but that's all right. So now I'll cash for somewhere between 2,000 and 9,000. But what's cool about it is I'm like going to be in the top 10 out of like 5,000 people starting. So that's pretty exciting shit, actually. Because again, I really don't predict against the spread. I have a couple of different ways of trying to figure out who other people are going to take, and then just go against them. That's basically the idea. But we got the playoff baseball looming.
Yeah.
We have NFL. I like these 2-game slates.
Me too. I'm in on it too. Totally.
I think it's fun. So ready to get after it. And then boy, oh boy, right around the corner, it's NBA. It's so close. We've
got almost 3 weeks. Yeah.
And kind of a weird. So a couple of other things to announce. We may as well. So we hockey season starts this coming week, and we have some content.
Yeah.
So Goldie has a friend who we kind of picked up who knows probably, I shouldn't say everything about hockey, but let's put it this way, more about hockey than I do or anybody else.
Know more about hockey than I know about anything. I was reading some of his stuff. It's really in depth.
Yeah. So we're gonna probably try to work together and try to get some good stuff going there. Also, the League of Legends, for those of you to follow this, I mean, it's the Worlds right now, so. It's if you're a fan of the sport, that's a big deal. And they also have slates, and that World Championship final, which I qualified for, seems like 100 years ago, is finally going to be playing out next week. I have like 8 entries in that. I'm totally maxed out in that, so we got that coming. Yep. So between football, baseball into the playoffs, and NBA around the corner, and just all the other shit that we play every day, like NASCAR and all that stuff, there's a lot of DFS out there right now.
There's a lot of sports going on in general. I'm going to the Dodger game on Saturday. I mean, they'll have to. We don't know who they're going to play yet, but they know their first game is going to be a home game on Saturday. And DraftKings was kind enough to give me tickets.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, I'm taking my dad for his birthday, so we're gonna have.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the playoff run. It gets very stressful around my family during the Dodgers in the playoffs more than any other sport. They take it real seriously. Anyway, yeah. So getting into tonight, there's a lot of. It's going to be hard to get different in a number of ways. Speaking of as a 2-gamer, but how do you want to do this? Should we touch on Showdown? Should we start off with the 2-gamer? Showdown?
Well, first, let's talk about a 2-game because so it seems before I even run anything that the logical and most obvious thing is that last game is where the production is supposed to come from. Okay, it's got guys that you've heard of. It's got high quality, offenses, and So if you are going to get different, like right off the bat, like the less of that game, the better. Okay. That's for sure. So I guess that's the first thing we can talk about is what, I don't know. I don't even want to ask your opinion on that because that's like kind of a fact. You know what I mean? It's like that's where the best plays are coming from for sure. But what do you like? I guess let's start in the first game.
Yeah, so I think with the first one, again, I'm forcing it in. I think half my lineups right now have Will Levis as my quarterback, and he's probably going to be the lowest owned. Now he's still going to have ownership. You can't get that different with him. But I like Tajay Spears as a spend down. The workload is sort of shifts back and forth with these guys, and it's hard to really get a feel for Pollard and Spears. But I think the natural thing people are going to do is just they'll play Pollard in A-chain. But I want to play Spears in A-chain. And the guys I'm using to pair with Will Levis, which is not overwhelmingly exciting, but DeAndre Hopkins, low enough ownership, Tyler Boyd, have a little bit of Ridley, but mainly I'm forcing myself to be overweight this game, even though I know the other game script is the one we should be targeting. I just think that it makes more sense to get some different plays. But there is one different play in this game that I'm going to projected currently to be owned at 1%. I don't mind the idea of throwing some Jeff Wilson out there, and you could play out Wilson and A-chain in the same lineup. There's a chance that with the way that Huntley's going to do things, you could potentially end up with both of them lining up in the backfield, and they'll be running like options and things like that. So I actually think that he's extremely viable at 4,300. Now maybe that's more so a take that you should take for a Showdown, but I think that he's talented, he's quick. The only thing that makes me worried about it is Jalen Wright. They like this young guy too, so it may end up being his workload a little bit. But I think Jeff Wilson. I think there's definitely he's my favorite large field get crazy kind of different play.
I'd like to talk about one other thing relative to the slate before we get into it, which I forgot to mention. Now I haven't proven this by building yet, but from what I'm hearing and what it seems instinctively, this slate. Compared to the last one of these, the pricing is really tight on this slate. There are guys that are going to be high owned that could get 3 fantasy points. So what that means to me is that I'm probably not going to intentionally leave money on the table. Okay, It's going to be hard enough to find guys to play. Okay. So I'm probably not going to leave money on the table. Like somebody mentioned, there's some tight end from Tennessee who's going to be like 20% owned or something like that.
That's Josh Wiley.
Yeah, and for no other reason than it's just the pricing is really, really difficult.
On DraftKings.
The other thing I want to throw it out there. I always talk about other sites that I look at and things like that. The one place that I look to, and just for Showdown, all right, and I don't know if you know who Brian Jester is. So he
I know the name. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's a real sharp dude. He won. He was famous. He won He was a solo shipper of the Super Bowl Showdown slate with the Patriots.
Oh, really? For a million.
Yeah. Anyway, he does really good work on Showdown stuff, and it's not really sim based or anything like that. Real kind of cool, instinctive things about how to get different and things like that. And I always watch that for every Showdown slate or whatever. And they also have this thing. Reason I can talk about it is because it's free. If it was premium, I would. I'm sure you'd love me talking about it if it's free. They have these undervalued receivers every week that they kind of follow this model, and they usually do I'd say pretty well, but they're good things. And one of them happened to be from this game, and I'm going to just blindly get more of it, and that'd be Calvin Ridley. So I'm in for the Jester on this one, and I'm gonna play some more Calvin Ridley than whatever I get.
Yeah, I like that. and you know, got some people. We'll talk about the other game in a second, but I wanted to throw out that the ownership I thought was interesting. That it's all going to this Josh Wiley, and really, why don't we just are going to assume that he's going to outsnap Chigakonkwo again? I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, it just feels like there's a lot of variance here. And I don't really, I guess in that case, why wouldn't I just play Durham Smythe or Chigakonkwo when you're basically, there's no real reason why the other guy should be on more from what I see. That was another way to get different, I thought, in the slate.
Meanwhile, yeah, your man caught the winning touchdown, by the way, and for the Texans, but the Umabuki guy or whatever.
I know. And I needed this time I needed everyone else, of course, except for him. But I had literally everything in that game, and that game just, you know, was just smashing.
And by the way, I mean, I have to. I mean, this was a lot of my generation, but this is everybody's generation. Got to shout out R.I.P. Dikembe Mutombo.
Oh yeah.
That's terrible. I mean, first of all, he's like my age,
right?
You know? Brain cancer at 58. I mean, the guy, like, I can't think of anybody who would have a bad thing to say about that dude. You know?
I think he's like the most well-liked person across the board in the NBA. Like,
yeah, I mean, everybody still has the image of him laying on the freaking ground with the ball when they came back from 2-0 down or whatever it was, as the 8th seed, right?
Yeah, right.
And then the finger wag or whatever it is, you know, definitely a bad loss.
Yeah, very sad.
Good, you know, shout out to him.
Yeah.
You mentioned talk more about the Tajay Spears, because I've heard a lot of people talking about that. Is the idea that he was actually getting more uses than Pollard or something, or what's that all about?
He tends to be used as a third down back that's going to be out there to catch passes. Like, he's a better play on DraftKings than he is on FanDuel. But I don't see that I don't think it's necessarily going to be, like you said, tight. Pricing is pretty tight. So as a spend down, instead of playing Pollard, who, you know, basically has had the same, outside of the first game of the season, has been basically the same level of production. It's a good matchup for running, but they both carried the ball 6 times last week. You know, that was it. They had the exact same amount of touches. So I don't see why I wouldn't take a shot, even though he plays more. He's still, it's like what do they say? He's playing 9 out of 15 snaps. So you're still getting a lot of Spears out there, and just going down to that price thing allows you to get some other guys in. But I mean, I'm just, to be honest, I have some Spears and Wilson together lineups. Like, I want to get funky with it. And if Jeff Wilson can, you know, squeak into the end zone one time, that's completely on the table. So I wanted to get weird with it, and I like the spend down. But Spears is the main one for me. He's in like most of my lineups.
By the way, the other thing I wanted to talk about last night, the reason for my success in the showdown slate.
Yeah.
And this is a really, really bad thing for the rest of the league, is that Baltimore finally figured out to use freaking Justice Hill. And he was like the responsible for all my thing. Like, if they continue to do that, as a compliment to Henry slamming it down their throat, you know, whatever, and Lamar's running, I mean, they could win the Super Bowl with like no touchdown pass.
Absolutely, they're going to be. I'm telling you, I really think they're the best team in football. Like, that was the best I've seen anybody play so far this season. That was,
and even like I thought that, like, at the end of the second half, Baltimore usually kind of chokes in the second half.
Yeah,
and it looked as though they were well on their way. You know, first possession, 3 and out with a fumbled snap. Allen with that ridiculous play against the sideline. All right, game over. And then Allen, they made that one stupid mistake where they tried a freaking trick play when they didn't need to.
Yeah.
And then it was basically it. And then not only Baltimore kind of cruised, but Buffalo kind of gave up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It looks like it.
Yeah. So So anyway, what do you think of a low-owned or lower-owned Tyreek Hill?
I don't think it's. I was hoping he was going to look even lower owned, to be honest. It's really like I have 3 big lineups or whatever. He's in one of them. So I guess that's basically what the field's probably going to do. But I think, I mean, look, he's 7,900. It just, the pricing alone just makes you feel like you kind of have to do it. So I think he's going to end up, that's why he's getting some ownership, because I'll just say this though. I know Huntley well. He was a Raven. Like, he can scramble. he doesn't throw for like over 200 yards. So it's going to have to be all the yardage to Tyreek Hill, or maybe they use Tyreek Hill on the ground as well. That's another thing that's possible.
Dude, he has to just throw the ball to Tyreek Hill out in the flat, and it could go for 80.
But they'll literally have two guys like flood.
I would hope so, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the only way you're gonna. I don't know. By the way, I love Tennessee in this game. I really think they win this game. That's my take on the game. Jumping over, and I did want to mention that I like the Wilson play as a really get weird play on the 2-gamer. Definitely on the showdown, get some exposure to Jalen Wright and Jeff Wilson. A-Chain's had plenty of injuries, hasn't.
Who's Jalen Wright?
Jalen Wright's the rookie kid they have. He's the third string running back, but there is a chance that Wilson's touches could turn into his. They do like him. I know that.
Okay.
You know me. On these small slates, I love the backup running backs. It's like my favorite thing.
And playing them together.
Yeah, playing them together. But by the way, excuse me, last night, that's how you won the showdown.
That's right.
Yeah.
I played all three running backs together.
Lamar,
Justice Hill.
Oh man, it's so funny I think it's hilarious that the way this world is, that people were trying to criticize him after for not throwing for enough yards. I'm like, he's like, we won the game like 35-10. Like, it wasn't
literally no reason for him.
There would be no reason
like that. I mean, when they got that going on.
All right, Seattle and Detroit. I think Detroit. I think this is the game where Detroit looks like the real Detroit, and I think that they actually have a good chance to beat up on Seattle a little bit. I like Seattle's team. I was on board. I don't think they're like one of the best 5 teams in football, so I like Detroit a little bit this cover in this game. And I like Goff and Geno very similarly. I would say maybe a little bit of an edge to Geno. And for me, the running backs, like I like Walker, but thinking about all the running backs in the slate, I think it goes A-Chain, Walker, Gibbs, Montgomery, or Montgomery Gibbs very close with those two. And that's sort of the way I have it ranked personally. I also thought Laporta was hopefully going to be low owned. He's not. So that plans out the window. And I don't like the Noah Fant play as much as some other people do. He just doesn't get the work. I mean, we've seen this story going back for him forever. But even with Geno, like he's never really like his last game was his best game like he's in the last 30 games. Like it's like the only time he got double-digit fantasy points. Give me a shot on one of these other Schmohawks from the Tennessee Miami game at lower ownership. That's I guess what my take is on this.
What about what about the Juwan Jennings play? How about going back to Charbonnet?
It just doesn't make any sense. This is football. Like you have a star running back, you're not going to lose your job. Now he'll get some of the run, but
that's what I mean. I mean, like if you get a good game script, he'll have to get it coming out of the backfield. Now he'll get the pass.
He could have like a Justice Hill type of night, but so can Jeff Wilson, who's $2,000 cheaper.
Right, that's true.
That was my take, and he's going to be low owned as well. So like, I mean, yeah, it's a really low owned play. There's a chance, but it's just a lot to spend for him. Like you want to play. Yeah. I mean, he's more expensive than Smith and Jigba is. Like, you know what I mean? Who I want to play. I want to play Lockett more than him, and Lockett's $1,200 cheaper. And I think that the best thing, for what it's worth, everybody knows my rule when I play Detroit showdowns, and it just worked. It works terribly, but then that's when it works. You hit and you make a fortune. I am absolutely, I think I'm only going to captain Jameson Williams tonight. Maybe I will go with one lineup where I use Laporta, But in terms of these receivers overall, I actually have Jameson as my highest owned on the 2-gamer, and I have JSN, then Metcalf, then St. Brown, because I think Detroit might be able to control this game a little bit better on the ground than people are anticipating. That's my take.
Well, just throw it out there. The other underperforming receiver from that Jester site is Jameson Williams. So he's not going to be unpopular, but
right.
Nonetheless.
Yeah, just a monster ceiling and
yep.
Yeah, I think you got it.
And so what? So you had one game that was off, and everything else we
yeah, and also that's going to happen. But like, if I'll tell you what, you can't. There's definitely in the realm of possibilities where he's like the highest scoring player on the slate, and it wouldn't even be that little bit surprising.
Yeah, I think it's true.
Yeah, and I don't understand even honestly why he's being lower owned than JSN or these other guys. I think he's every bit as good a play. But yeah, again, it's hard to find so many spots to get different. But like I said, I'm overweight these Hopkins and Tyler Boyd and Calvin Ridley and Jameson Williams. And look, so I try to win lineup. I'm going to try to win with guys who are 10%, except for where I'm going to play my very weird play in Jeff Wilson. But I also, like I said, I'm gonna have almost 70% Tajay Spears. So
that's a big number.
Yeah, I want to have I'm not playing a million lineups, and I want to take a stand, and I feel like it's one way to differentiate, and I can use him like because there just aren't players in that price range. Like, I don't know. I just think it makes so much sense to get a little different that way. I also like the idea of playing the Conquo, as I mentioned. He's going to be sub 10%. Jameson Williams, hipster wide receiver. What is the hipster thing with him? This guy's a good player. He's coming out of suspensions and all this stuff. I mean, people don't realize how good he was at Alabama and how high Detroit. I mean, Detroit picked him 10th and basically didn't play him for 2 years, and now his breakout year. I think he's a really good play. I wonder, did you try running any build sheets? Did you get to any of the weird, like the Tim Patricks and the Westbrook Akine or Braxton Berrios or Khalif Reno?
Showdown, you mean?
I actually went on the 2-gamer because I think Tim Patrick is like you could make a little bit of a case because he's 3K, but it feels pretty thin.
Yeah, again, I'm building right now. I can't imagine getting to those guys though.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I'm going to do either, to be honest. And
I like the Laporta play though.
By the way, you know what we deserve a little credit for? By the way,
not much. Wait, hold
on. Our predictions were phenomenal. Our final statements, our closing statements on yesterday's thing. You said,
"Are you kidding? How did Mayfield do?" Right?
You nailed it with Baker going crazy against the other side of Philadelphia. And my big take was the what's his name, the Brian Thomas from Jacksonville, who had 20 in like the first half, but didn't have much more. But it was one of the best value plays on the slate. So I think we hit something. We got some things right there.
Yeah, we did something.
All right. What else do we have here? So let's see. In terms of the showdown, what I got to I didn't again, I just hand built, and I really liked. I mentioned it's only gonna be Laporta and what's his name, and Jameson Williams as my captains.
Yeah, I'm really down with this Laporta thing.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think he's getting way too low. Also, this is the team that's been the worst against the tight end position for like a year and a half. So it's a good matchup for it. And the other one, guess who my captain is? I'll give you a hint. It's Tajay Spears.
There it is.
That's my way of trying to get different in a funky game. For what it's worth, though, I do think that Levis, I guess that would be my bold take tonight, even though it's not that bold or whatever. It's like 4 quarterbacks. But I think Levis is going to be the highest scoring quarterback tonight.
Ooh.
So that's where I'm going.
That's tough, man.
He can run though. He's the only one of these guys who other than Huntley. Huntley runs, but he can't throw.
Right.
All right. Any questions, guys? I can run a quick build here, I guess, just to sort of, go through a few things. I guess I mentioned FanDuel real quick because I did think some things were a little different over there. I felt like it was easier to get people in. But yeah, I think that I'm like using a Conquo over there as my tight end. That's my way of, my big buy-in to get different in that lineup.
Well, if it's easy to get people in, you should probably try to leave money on the table, I think.
I'm leaving like 500, which is not a huge amount, but it's at least a little bit,
Yeah.
They want to. So you guys want to run? I'll run. So at a single entry. To which single entry? Tell me which single entry, and we'll run this. We'll run it. I can't do it on FanDuel. I say in DraftKings. All right. Let's see. Well, we'll do. I'll look for a one here. Thanks, Eagles. Good to see you in here, man. All right, well, let's see. We've got what is the single entry one tonight? Oh, here we go. Red zone. Let's just do that. Football is crazy, man. There's so many tournaments and everything. It's like if you're not careful and you go to bed at back,
it's only two games.
I know. It's crazy. It's like all right, we're gonna run.
What about those people? There are people that play like all the showdown slates, like they're on Sundays.
Yeah, I know. I don't have it in me. All right, I'm gonna go to projections. I'm actually gonna import yours this time. Here we go, and then let's do this.
But be careful when you import. Remember the classics and the showdown. You have to get rid of the ones that you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm just for the 2-gamer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing it for the build. Here we go. Okay. All right. Guys, while you're in here, there's a lot of you in here. We appreciate it. Unfortunately, Brandon, we thought he was going to come by tonight, but he's not able to. But give us the left thumbs up and like and all that stuff. We appreciate that.
Oh, so I have a kind of a curious movie review, by the way.
Oh, okay. What? Give it to me. The Menendez.
What?
Well, I think we're gonna have to talk about the Menendez show.
No. I keep forgetting to bring this up. When I went to Ireland, I when you go on these big flights, you catch up on all the movies. Dude, I was really bored and annoyed with Oppenheim.
This is the first. I heard you say this on another thing. It's the first time we've had a disagreement. Usually we're in lockstep. I thought it was the best movie I've seen in years.
Yeah, I hear you. I get it. Maybe it was just a plane. I don't know. I just found the whole score just suffocating, and I was just bored out of my mind. But
you're not as big of a Nolan guy, are you? Or are you? I can't remember. I love Christopher Nolan stuff, so maybe that's why.
What was he? Inception?
Inception, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that one either.
Really?
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh, our first.
Yeah, I guess so. I like Batman though.
Yeah, the Batman ones are, I think, still good. It's like the best. All right, so let's see. This is what it came up with. I built five lineups, and you can see they're going all Seattle stacks. But we haven't run the sim yet, so I'm going to run the sim and see how it changes these things because they're going basically with the complete chalk. Although no Gibbs or Pollard, that makes sense. Come on, let it be Tajay Spears night. I really feel it. I really want that to come through. All right, what else do we have here? Let's do this.
And the other one I saw the Everything All at Once or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch that again. I mean, I really liked it. But I think I'm gonna need a couple of watchings. I think.
Yeah, you feel like you're like losing your mind at some point. it's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so here is what it's going to give you. Let's see what they end up with. And yes, they're not really taking a major stand. Yeah, it is what it is. It's for single entry. I'm going to try it again and just run it for something else. Let's do another one. Just because I'm curious what they're going to show for the lottery. Let's do 20 of them. I like to go higher on the correlation. All right, oops.
You got any of these defenses in the captain, you think?
In the first game, yeah, I like that. I don't like it as much in the other one. God, it's pretty crazy how the cheap defenses keep. You saw, I mean, Atlanta. I had them too. They were the chalky defense, and they were the cheap chalky one. And they every week, it's like right away they score a touchdown. Like,
so in the showdown, I'm getting some of these clowns. First of all, I have a couple of questions for you. Who is Jake Bobo?
Jake Bobo, he's been around a little bit. He'll get a poor man's Braxton Berrios, maybe.
He'll get a couple of snaps. I mean, like,
yeah.
In the showdown, I'm getting a little Bobo.
I don't think it's bad.
Getting a little Tim Patrick, as you mentioned, but not in the 2-man. And the rest, I'm looking at my bow wows here. The B Wright, I'm getting.
Brock Wright, yeah.
And then let me see any hoodoos in this other one. It's way too much Bobo for me, but oh my God. He's 200. I mean, like, I'm gonna get him, I think. All right, this other one, this is Josh Wild. Who is Malik Washington?
So I didn't end up getting to any of him. I don't know much about him, to be honest with you.
Is he active? I mean, like,
I don't know if he will be for sure. I would be speaking out of turn if
it says he's active. There it is. He's active. He's active and he's 200, so he's in my lineup. Josh Weil, yeah. The Berrios. I'm just trying to think of other guys there. Who is? Oh, we know Treylon Burks. We know him.
Yeah.
Who else? Okonkwo. You mentioned him. Yeah, we got all kinds of nonsense going on in the showdown, I think.
I think this is an interesting game, this Miami one, because I do feel like Will Levis looks so bad sometimes this year, but what I like is he plays like with a lot of swagger and he like always is going for it and he's running and stuff. I feel like this game should be a lot higher in a total. Or no, sorry. I feel like this game, if what's his name was playing, if Tua was playing, I would have thought this total would have been like almost 10 points higher.
Yeah, I'm leaving some. Oh, I'm not leaving money on the table on all these. So I got to leave some money on the table on the FanDuel also from the showdowns.
They love the Geno. Look at this. It does make sense. Like, it's hard to run on Detroit, but all 20 lineups they give you Dino. Gino. Let's swap up. All right, let's see what else it does. And let's see if it gives us anything fun.
701. We got plenty of time.
All right. They got the Tajay Spears in there.
Oh, meanwhile, did these turkeys win? Let's see. Oh yeah, the Braves are gonna win. Fuckers. Okay.
All right, let's see.
Then we'll do
okay, so they've got Spears only 5%, 55% Gibbs, 75% A-Chain. All Geno Smith. They only want to stack Geno Smith.
And life ain't that easy.
Yeah. 90% DK Metcalf. That makes sense, I guess. They're just going way overweight the chalk. I don't know how you plan to win tournaments like this. Like, it's just so hard to do that. Let's see. Maybe they got different with – no, they didn't. They got to a little more Conquo. Oh, wait, no. Now he's gone. Janu, okay. I think Janu has the most upside outside of Laporta, personally. But it's just me. Yeah. So it's pretty chalky, the builds. I'll tell you what, all you have to do is throw that 10% in of that the Jeff Wilson, no way this can work, and he somehow puts up like 30 fantasy points.
What else did I watch? I had some other movies. So I'm telling you, I've had in the last couple of months or whatever. I saw some of the other stuff nominated from this past year. The Holdovers wasn't bad.
I didn't see that one.
It wasn't bad with Paul Giamatti. It was Paul Giamatti.
Right. I heard it was good. Yeah,
Paul Giamatti being Paul Giamatti. It was good.
Yeah.
I saw American Fiction. It was fine.
American Fiction, I didn't see that one either.
Yeah,
God,
no big deal, but it was fine.
Yeah.
And you know what else I saw? Oh, so this was actually pretty interesting. I saw I don't know why I didn't want to see this before, but I saw Licorice Pizza on the plane.
Oh yeah, you talked about that one. Yeah, it's a good movie. I read your tweet.
Just like all of his other ones. It's great. I mean, it's great. You got to really like him, but like if you like Magnolia and Boogie Nights or whatever, like it's yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I love all Thomas Anderson movies. And like you said, I think you tweeted. You said he's very good at making very Paul Anderson movies. They all have that funny little style.
Yeah, just like Steve Soderbergh. It's like some guys just can make their movies really well. It's like
all right, I'm gonna do this and then my two captains for what it's worth in the showdowns are I have Ridley and Spears, and I have Laporta or Jameson Williams.
And then there was another one that I had just because I was been up because of Stacey's been up. I watched again. This is like a weird recommendation, but like obviously everybody's seen this like 300 times. But every time I watch it, like it's just so freaking amazing every time I watch it. And that's Erin Brockovich.
Oh yeah,
really she's just so freaking good in it. It's just like ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I need HN. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I got some Jeff Wilson on the. What you got to do is you got to play the Jeff Wilson on the FanDuel.
I played him as a captain. Yeah.
Oh, how about that? There it is. Even better than me.
It's 3K, and you can get in all the actual other real players if you play him.
No. I mean FanDuel. Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, on FanDuel, that's the real. That's the move, right? Yeah.
Right.
And. What is the other one?
You got to play some defense in the captain. You want to be screenshotting early. I mean, like that's the way it is.
But by the way, why are the Titans supposed to be 8% owned as a defense? Like, why aren't they the exact same?
That is just completely ridiculous.
And they're facing a guy who is like a journeyman who never plays more than a game or two. Like, it's very weird.
Probably the best defense is probably Seattle, but
I think the Titans might actually be. That's the thing that's crazy.
I thought that either Titans or Miami would be the highest owned defense.
I think Miami is going to be.
But why is Levis any better than Skylar Thompson?
Well, it's not even Skylar Thompson. It's Huntley.
Even still, I mean, like,
there's a lot of people who come in. I mean, I saw some rankings before the year that had like Levis ahead of like Justin Herbert and those guys. Like they had him in like this tier of like a top 10 quarterback. Basically, they're like, oh, that's what he's going to be now, and he has the ability. So maybe he gets there. By the way, look who's going to win the MVP, though. Right now, it's got to be Sam Darnold's world.
It sure does, doesn't it? It's kind of ridiculous, but
it was like the perfect setup too, because he was in a horrible situation. He goes and wins the Super Bowl, or goes to the Super Bowl with the Niners as the backup. But really, he sort of gets his feet under him. And everybody said And they said it all year long. They said, this guy's been unbelievable in our practices. You wouldn't believe how good he is. And then he gets another chance, and he's still younger than Joe Burrow. So
he is younger than Joe Burrow.
So that's maybe he's gonna blossom. I mean, look at Baker. It's all the reclamation projects. Geno, Baker, these guys are all having the best season.
So let me tell you what my big buy-in lineups look like. So I'm playing one big buy-in for each thing. I'm playing the Wildcat in the 2-man. I'm playing the Wildcat in the showdown, and I'm playing whatever it's called, the 2-point conversion, the other one. So from the beginning out in the showdown, I'll just tell you the captain is pretty. I gotta say, pretty freaking chalky in the showdown. Although, I mean, it does have Jeff Wilson Jr. Okay, so I have I mean, this could be the chalk, but I have a 4-1 Miami with a Tyler Boyd run back, and it's pretty easy to figure out who the other 5 are. And then let's see, in the other showdown, I can give you that. It's for now. In my big buy-in in the other showdown, it's going to be, that's an hour and 7 minutes from now. That's also going to be pretty freaking chalky. Jesus Christ. Except I shouldn't say that. This one's got, actually, I'm playing a 5-1 Seattle in the big buy-in there. So that's definitely not too chalky.
Yeah.
Although I might want to change. Do I even have to do this? I was going to change. I had Geno Smith in the captain. I could just make Metcalf the captain.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Oh my God, it won't let me. Oh, that's too much. Oh, that's annoying. All right, I have to figure out what to do with that one. Wow, is Metcalf that much more expensive than Geno Smith? Huh? I guess so. Oh my God, Metcalf in the showdown is like twice the price of.
They made him like a crazy price.
I mean, what's Jackson Smith? Jackson Smith is 1,000 more than Lockett. Isn't Lockett like a good play here? I don't know.
He's a play. I have mixed feelings a little bit, to be honest, about Lockett. Like I think he is fading out a little bit. I think that he's the 3rd best receiver on the team. And I don't think it's particularly close. I think that Smith and Jigba is like a really quality receiver. That was a good line to me. Oh, another way to get different: double tight ends. Nobody's doing that.
Metcalf, Jameson Williams. I mean, you like Montgomery or not really?
I do. It feels like it could be a him game, but I mean, he and Gibbs, they both get so much work.
I like the Laporta.
Can I really pull this off and play this Jeff Wilson in a big buy-in? Like I really want to. I might be going a little too nuts. I might have to rethink it a little bit. It's that hits. Oh boy, that would be crazy. All right, let's do that. Let's do. I feel like I have
Patrick. Tim Patrick had 3 targets and 1 target.
1 target and oh wow. Metcalf, Spears, I can't do it. Let's take Laporta out of it then, and we'll play Okonkwo. And we'll play. I think I have A-Chain like basically locked tonight.
I mean, they're going to need him.
Yeah. Hopkins, Lockett. You can go Lockett here. That makes sense. I like that a little bit.
Ridley. Definitely a bunch of that. All right, so we got some action here.
Yeah, I'm looking at my exposure right now. So yeah, I actually do have some non-A-Chain, I guess, but not much.
So the D-backs got booted. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. They had a really good second half.
Wait, so hold on. So what do we got here? Let's take a look at the playoffs here. Let's just take a look. So
yeah, I haven't even heard who's playing who yet.
Well, the American League we know, right? I mean,
the American League, yeah.
Well, who was in front? Well, where are the playoffs? Hold on. MLB. playoff schedule. 2024. Okay. All right. So Detroit. Oh man, how is there anybody not rooting for the Tigers against the Astros?
I mean,
if you root for the Astros against the Tigers,
I don't want to talk to anyone who is.
You should turn in your whatever card. You know what I mean? Like,
you better be from Houston.
Even still. So Houston, Detroit. Ooh, you know what? Okay, Kansas City. We gotta beat Baltimore, but you got to get through them. You got to do it.
Yeah.
So KC against Baltimore. I guess that's all that's set, right? Okay. But now we know. So it's Mets.
Yep.
Wait, so what do we know? Hold on a minute. They clinch final spots in the playoffs. Let's just see. The Braves play the Padres, and the Mets play the Brewers. All right, reasonable.
Yeah. Mets and Brewers. I feel like that it's weird because those are teams that I don't remember ever seeing.
I don't think they've ever played.
Yeah.
Braves Padres. That's we got
good
that
series.
So who are the pitchers on the Padres again? I keep is Snell on the Padres or San Francisco?
San Francisco. See, they've got Cease, Musgrove, Darvish, and why am I forgetting the other? Oh, Mike King.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And they're a really tough team to play against because they do all the things that the Dodgers, because they're so talented, they don't need to do. They play good fundamental baseball. They move runners along. They do things like that.
And the Braves have Sale, Schwalik.
Well, Sale, we'll see. He got scratched today with back spasms right before the must-win game of the year. So we'll see if he's even able to pitch.
Freed.
Yeah.
Freed's coming in the playoffs in good shape.
Yeah. He's looked great.
So yeah, Freed, Sale, Schwalik. Who's that? Lopez.
For who?
For Atlanta.
Schwellenbach. It'll be that kid Grant Holmes pitched great today. I don't know.
Did. He'll be in the bullpen. He's not going to get a start.
Yeah. But it just was kind of surprising. All right.
And then the American League, you got Tigers. Oh man, how are the Tigers going to do this? Tigers, Astros. They're going to have Skubal. Who else?
Skubal. They gave us Flaherty, so I don't know. Our number one starter was their number two starter.
Can he pitch all 5 games somehow? I mean, like
the Dodgers have nobody to pitch. By the way,
Skubal.
Yeah, I know, but the Dodgers are like, I mean, dude, a team this good relying on Walker Buehler as a part of your top 3 in your rotation is horrifying with what he's been like this year. He's been better, but it's still not been anywhere near reasonable. They brought up this kid though who throws 104 miles an hour. They brought him up. His first game was the San Diego series, which was like a must-win series. And they put him in the high-leverage spots, and then they had him closing games. And he's thrown 104, and no one's touched him yet.
So it says Tigers projected as the worst of the whatever. Let's see their rankings. Or let's see what it is. Skubal. Then it says Olsen would be number 2, and then maybe it says Kedar Montero, the third one.
Mm-hmm.
And then they needed their bullpen. That's what they did. They called up the freaking stud. That's right, the Jackson Joby or whatever.
Jackson, wait, which? Right. Yep.
They called him. That's kind of bizarre. You can do that, but
it is.
Yeah, come straight on up here. He came on up, dude. You watch him start. No, I guess they can't do that. He's supposedly like the top prospect in baseball, right, or something.
He's one of them.
He's definitely the Tigers' top one.
That's the term that I have such a hard time with because it's so overused, and it just can't be always true. Not by like us, but by like sports people. They always say like, "Oh, that's he's the number one prospect. He's the number one prospect." I'm like, not everybody can be the number one prospect. There can't be more than one.
So what do we have with the Astros? So it's Hunter Brown, Valdez, Verlander.
I don't know if they'll let Verlander go, but maybe.
Ooh, okay.
He's been really. I mean, it's been pretty shaky.
Yeah, but they got to let him pitch.
Yeah.
But it's Valdez. He'll literally kill them if they don't let him pitch. But I think yes. Who is it? Valdez and who else? Valdez, Hunter Brown. Is there a third good guy?
Valdez, Hunter Brown. I don't know why I'm missing. What's his name? The Arrighetti.
Arrighetti. He's no lock.
No, but these guys are all pretty. It's actually kind of interesting. They're pretty good pitching. I mean,
I know.
The Dodgers, it's like bizarre because they're the favorites, and like I don't think anybody feels comfortable with any of their starting.
Well, Scubal Valdez to start off with.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they need. Needless to say, they need this one.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
And let's see who's starting for Casey. I presume Reagan's, right? Or maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't. Whatchamacallit, plan everything right because they had to win at the end. Let's just see. This doesn't say, huh? Doesn't have any probables yet. Let me just see. Royals rotation. Let's see. KC starting rotation for the wild card round of the playoffs. Okay. They set starting. So it says Reagan's. I got to subscribe to the Kansas City Star.
Reagan's Lugo.
Well, it didn't say. Hold on, I guess so.
It's got to be.
Okay, they announced player on the RoyalsReview.com. Don't make me pay. Okay, Reagan's, then Lugo, then game 3 if necessary, Waka. Okay. And then they'll give what's his name Singer in game 4, maybe.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm going to throw out one quick football thing. Just one thing you can do when you play like these 2-game slates is really like play the defense. Like if you're going to use Goff, use Seattle's defense as like a run back as a player almost in that lineup. I think it makes a lot of sense on this slate. And also he makes mistakes. But like for him to have a great game, he probably means he has to make some mistakes. So they kind of correlate well, which is, I know it's counterintuitive, but it just seems to be very true.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh my God. Did you hear just who died?
No, what happened?
Pete Rose.
Oh, really? What is going on today?
Oh my God.
That
sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I hate to hear that.
Yeah, now they'll put him in the Hall of Fame. Go fuck yourself. It's like
so stupid.
It's all stupid.
I've met him so many times.
You met him so many times?
Because my family used to go to Vegas every month, and we would go for like 4 days every single month of our lives. So in Vegas, they had this little card shop thing that he would always hang out at, signing autographs, and that was like how he was making money at the time. So you'd see him like we went there often enough to where he like remembered like us because there was a big group of us, and he's like, "Oh, you guys, the kids are all back and everything." He was very nice to us, actually.
I have 2 copies of his book.
Really?
Yeah, 2 people got it for me for my birthday the same year. One of them is autographed.
That's wild. Oh my God! So Brody just nailed it. This is going to change a little bit of what I'm doing. Jeff Wilson is now considered questionable.
Okay. Ooh, how do you like them apples, huh?
That sucks, man. Well, I'm going to leave him in the cheaper stuff that I have, but not the expensive anything.
Wait, so Jeff Wilson's in the first game?
Yeah.
25 minutes from now, he's questionable?
Yeah. He got hurt in the warmups. That's what Brody just said. I haven't seen that officially, but I'm sure he's right.
All right, we got to find.
He could still play, though. He says. But I'll tell you what the play does, and maybe if you want to speculate, this is maybe something you can.
Then now we're supposed to play in the captain anyway.
No, I think maybe you think about the other kid, the other guy. The
Jeff Wilson who suffered a knee injury in pregame warmups and is now questionable.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that.
A-Chain going off confirms. Let's see. Fire up the A-Chain. Well, forget that. What about the Jalen Wright?
Jalen Wright. Let's do the A-Chain and Jalen Wright. Let's do that.
All right, we got to
Pollard and Spears. There's my build. That's what I'm going to do on FanDuel. On DraftKings. There it is. That's what I'm doing for Showdown. All 4 running backs. And not Jeff Wilson.
Jeff Wilson. You got to be kidding me. And this starts in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Great.
Why is this? Why I still need to figure a little more out of this Josh Wiley character. I guess because he had 5 targets last week. I don't know. It doesn't.
Wilson. Let's see. Jalen Wright. Jeff Wilson considering questionable. Ugh.
Seattle.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
8 minutes. What are we gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna play Wright, and I think Wright has maybe he's gonna end up getting this kind of role anyway. How did he get hurt? What is this team has it happen so much? I don't understand it. It's a good thing they have the depth, I guess, at running back, but it's kind of weird. All right, let's see what else is here. Yeah, well, the cool play of the night is no longer seeming so cool. I'm going to throw the right into one.
Yeah, I can't play Wilson with that.
It's too weird. All right, I might get out of here in a few minutes. Sheets. Anything else we should go over before we?
We should probably give some advice on what to do with Jeff Wilson. I just don't know.
I said what I'm doing. I keep him in my low buy-in stuff, and I'll play Jay, but I'll mostly just move over to right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you guys are writing this now as if he's out because like Rick's saying, check your line if you have Wilson. No, remember this is not official that he's not going to play. They actually said he still could play. That's the thing they said. So until we get the actual official that he's out, it does seem like you would probably be careful here, though, right? Like,
you think?
You get hurt right before the game. You got your other running backs healthy anyway. I wish I had more to add to it. I just don't. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting play now on the showdown because I think he was going to be pretty popular in showdown.
Yeah.
But I like the other kid too. I think this other kid's, they say good things about him. I don't know what the hell that means, but it is what it is.
We really don't have too many with him.
Where did they draft him? Right. Thursday night. Yeah, he's a real guy. This right, by the way. He's a 4th round pick this year. He's one of the fastest guys in the combine. That's what they love. That's what Miami loves to run, and that's what they're going to be doing tonight. So you're going to see those 2 running backs in the backfield for them. My question is, will one of them be Jeff Wilson?
You should just lock it A chain probably at the end of the day.
I already have that basically. I'm not missing that one. I'm pretty convinced that Wright's going to get some touches tonight. I feel pretty strongly about that, even if Wilson is somehow available.
Well, it's 7:24. It's locked in 6 minutes. Nobody knows, Yep. I guess I'm going to get out of here. So is there playoff baseball tomorrow?
Yeah. It's going to be packed and going. So I don't know what time it starts. Let me take a quick look, Sheets. Maybe we can figure this out.
2-gamer or 4-gamer?
4-gamer. They weren't messing around this year. They said all these teams, if you're a wild card team, you're playing every day.
Yeah, what we're going to do is an hour before the game, the slate locks, whenever that is, that's when we'll go on.
That's what we'll do.
We don't need to do a preview, right? Like if it doesn't.
No. I think our previews are. Yeah, I think we don't need.
I think they're going to start in the afternoon, though. I think, right?
Yeah, they should be. And I'm just looking here. This is so weird. It only has 2 games right now, but it's going to be 4.
Yeah, but they're going to make the Mets like fly to Milwaukee overnight and play at noon. I mean, like.
I think 2:30 Eastern will be the first game.
I mean, that's a rough spot. I mean, like.
So that's when we could go on. Is at 10:30 or something, or 1:30 Eastern? Sorry.
I'm still not seeing. I'm looking at a couple of Discords. I'm still not getting anything.
I'm gonna try I'm looking on Twitter right now, but I'm not finding anything yet. It's questionable for the game. It's also the same thing. Huh.
Spears.
How many carries did A-Chain get last?
I don't have too much of Wright. I don't have too much of Wilson. So just gonna hope that A-Chain just goes off, I guess.
Yeah. I think the 90% of us are going to be together on that one.
Yeah. All right, guys. Good luck. Hope somebody takes something down, and catch up to you later.